Hey everybody, so for today's video, and Merry Christmas by the way, I filmed this on Christmas Day. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and what I wanted to do in this video is, I think I did this last year as well. I know I did this for my birthday a couple of times. I wanted to share with you some movie and game related stuff, mostly movie related stuff though. Some things I got for Christmas this year, a little bit of insight on, why I feel happy and why I got what I got. And just to show you, just some stuff I got a little update to my collection in some way. Um, there's actually one of these DVDs that I got here is actually a prank that that I got as a gift. It's a prank because it's my least favorite film of all time. So my parents wanted to see what my reaction would be by giving it to me. It'll be exchanged. Don't worry, it will definitely be exchanged. I can promise you that. But they just wanted to see what my reaction for it. My dad actually has it on video and everything. It's pretty funny. But yeah, let's get started here. So for my one and only game I'm going to share with you today, this is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It's the sequel to Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. I've only played a little bit so far. I'm going to post a review of it when I get more into the game and when I have more of a knowledge of what the game is like. But so far it's pretty fun. It's a little different control-wise to the first Luigi's Mansion, but so far it's a lot of fun. I was a huge fan of the first one for the GameCube. It's one of the first games I got for the GameCube next to Super Smash Bros. Melee, so it's a kind of a close game to my heart in that sense. So I really wanted to get the sequel for the 3DS, and so far it's a lot of fun. So it's a good Christmas gift. Now here is the prank DVD. This is one I'm going to exchange. Don't worry, I really hate this film. Those of you who know me really well know that I really absolutely despise this movie. It will be exchanged the second I can exchange it, and the second I know that I can get a much better film in comparison. So this is my least favorite film of all time. It was given to me as a prank. Luckily, my parents only had to spend $3 to get it. Luckily, but even $3 is just way too much for this pile of trash. It's The Hours, my least favorite film of all time. I opened this up and I was shocked to see it. Um, I didn't even say thank you on this one. They know I despise this movie in every sense of the word. I hate Stephen Daldry. I hate this movie. I don't know why the Film Academy liked it. I don't know why Nicole Kidman won slash nominated got one or slash nominated for some of these awards for that year. Just an awful film. Never watch it. Never view it. Never buy it, especially. Horrible movie. It was given to me as a prank. Like I said, my dad even recorded me opening this one. Just awful film. They just wanted to see my reaction, basically. Still, they burned $3 to make that happen. Um, the next one I actually kind of wanted. They actually got this one for $2, believe it or not, and it's actually a much better film. It's much better than The Hours, I can tell you that. Is Fat Albert? The live action movie of the TV show. A lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't like this one. The director of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, I think, directed this one. A lot much more fun than that movie, that's for sure. One of Bill Cosby's, one of the last times I've seen him too in a film. Just a lot of fun. Definitely an interesting way they brought Fat Albert to the screen. So I got this one today as well. This is one I've never seen all the way through, and I'm kind of glad they got it. My parents got this for me just because I've seen parts of it. I've liked what I've seen of it. Obviously, I'm going to review it when I see the whole thing. But what I've seen of it, I really like, and I'm finally glad that I can get an opportunity to watch this movie all the way through. Is Critters. I know it's very similar to Gremlins. Leo DiCaprio's first movie was actually in the third movie of this series, so he was in Critters 3. That was one of his first films. Um, I have never seen this all the way through. What I saw of it was pretty interesting. It's very much in the spirit of Gremlins. I don't know if this came before or after Gremlins, but I know it's an '80s monster movie, so who can go wrong with that? Um, then the next one I wanted for a while, and I think I saw this 1 or 2 years ago. I'm not sure, but I really like this one a lot. This director used to be married to one of my all-time favorite directors, but she's still a very good director and very beautiful woman. It's Lost in Translation. This is one of Sofia Coppola's bigger movies. This is definitely the film that she's most notable for, probably. Just a lot of fun. Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson really have a lot of chemistry in this movie. I know Giovanni Ribisi was in this. Anna Faris was in this. Um, just a really well done movie. It just really has a lot to say about living in Japan and kind of how Japan is a much faster paced society than America is. And just kind of how, if you don't really know what you're doing or where you're going in Japan, you're really going to get lost. But this film just has a lot to say about relationships and marriages and, people's placement in society. What's the right place for you? What's the wrong place for you? That kind of thing. So I got Lost in Translation this year, so I'm very thankful for that. This is one I've been looking forward to for a while. I almost bought it one time for a good price, but I unfortunately didn't buy it that one time. But luckily, my parents got me this for Christmas this year for a really good price. Is Simone. Pretty fun movie. It's basically about how Hollywood, they rely on CGI too much, and this movie kind of has the point where it's a fictional movie. It's not a documentary or anything. Al Pacino plays the fictional director in this. Basically, it's about how CGI we can really take over the film industry if we allow it, and basically if we don't get real people to be in these movies anymore, basically Hollywood's just going to get to the point where CGI is everything, including the cast and crew. I mean, it's just going to be CGI people making these movies. And CGI people starring in these movies. So it's a really interesting take on CGI in movies, and I'm finally glad I was able to get a copy of it. This is another one too where I really liked it, and I'm glad that my parents got this for a good price. So yeah, a lot of my parents got me a lot of these, surprisingly enough. This is 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams. Very good villainous performance from him. You really wouldn't expect it from him in this movie. I was just really impressed by his villainous performance in this. It just kind of crawls under your skin by watching it. It's kind of like Silence of the Lambs, where you won't watch it all the time, but it's for a good villainous performance. If you want to see good acting in a movie, this is definitely a film to check out. So I'm glad I got 1 Hour Photo. I've wanted this movie for a long time, and I just finally got around to getting it through a gift. And it's the original Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve. This is also the one that had Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, playing him for the first time. I know he came back for the sequel, at least in the Richard Donner one anyway. Just a lot of fun. It's just interesting to see Superman on the big screen for the first time, seeing how people back then got to see him on the big screen and how we have Man of Steel now. So a lot of fun with this one. I'm glad I got Superman the movie as well. I already own Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, as you probably saw in my previous review. And if you haven't, it's on my Facebook page and it's on my YouTube channel somewhere if you want to see that review. But this is the original Superman 2 cut. This is by Richard Lester, who replaced Richard Donner on the production of that movie. So I'm finally glad I was able to get a hold of a copy of that version, because it's almost becoming a little rare now. The Richard Donner version is almost becoming more mainstream than this version. So I'm finally glad I have a compare and contrast version of Superman 2, comparing the original cut with the Richard Donner one. This is another one too where I really enjoyed it, and I just got around to getting it. And strangely enough, all these films my parents got for a very low price. That's why I got so many of them. It's Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. Very good Steven Soderbergh film. Definitely an interesting approach on romance and kind of how the most unlikely people on the face of the earth fall in love. So it's this ultimate criminal falling in love with this ultimate cop. So really interesting take on romance. Really good film by Steven Soderbergh. This is another one too where I've only seen parts of it, never seen it all the way through, and I'm finally glad I'm getting a chance to do so. And I'll definitely post a review of this one when I watch it. It's Death Proof by Quentin Tarantino. This was one of the parts of the film Grindhouse with Robert Rodriguez attached to it as well. This was Quentin Tarantino's film that he provided for that movie, since Robert Rodriguez provided Planet Terror for that movie. Didn't see it all the way through, but I'm finally glad I'm going to be able to get a chance to do that. Just seems like a fun, campy, B-list kind of movie. And I know Quentin Tarantino's a huge fan of those kind of movies. He grew up with those. So it's going to be interesting to see how he takes on that with Death Proof when I watch it. I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard people who love it and people who hate it. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel about it. This is one of the more notable movies I got this year just because I really enjoyed this film in 2013. Monsters University, I got this on Blu-ray and DVD. Just a really fun movie. My parents loved it. My brother loved it. I loved it. I just had to own this. I mean, it's just such a really well done Pixar film. I think it's actually better than some other ones they've had over the past few years. Just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed kind of the Animal House approach they had with this sequel, or this prequel, I should say. Before Sunset, this is the first Before Sunrise film that I own. I plan on getting 1 and 3 through gift cards, since I got some gift cards this year. Um, just a really good movie. I preferably like 1 and 3 better than this one. But like I said, I hope to get 1 and 3 through some gift cards. So, some gift card value that I have here. But still, the Before Sunrise series is really good. I'm glad I have at least one of the installments for it. Rushmore, I reviewed this film already. I finally have my own copy of it. This is actually the Criterion version for DVD. Really good movie. It's definitely a very good Wes Anderson film. Though I think I like Fantastic Mr. Fox the best from him still. This is still a lot of fun. Um, so I'm glad I got a hold of Rushmore. And not only did I get a hold of Rushmore, I got the Criterion version of it. Um, I'll save this one for last because it's one of my more notable ones. I got Iron Man 3 on DVD as well. Unfortunately, the digital copy doesn't seem to work with iTunes or Ultraviolet, so that's kind of out of the window. But um, yeah, I'm finally glad I got a hold of a copy of this movie at least. And I know it's not the Blu-ray combo pack. And to tell you the truth, I like the movie, but I didn't love it that much. So DVD works fine. I'm probably gonna only pop it in a few times, maybe to get ready for Phase 3 or something. I don't know. Good movie. I didn't like the twist at the end of it. If you saw my review, like I said, good movie. There's just some decisions that Shane Black did with it that I think John Favreau would have done a much better job if John Favreau actually stayed as the director for that movie. Um, I also enjoyed this film this year in 2013, Kick-Ass 2. I know a lot of people hated it. I know Jim Carrey disapproved of the violence in it. Um, Another one I'm really glad I have on Blu-ray and DVD, and a digital copy came with this one. Um, I thought Jeff Wadlow did a very good job, especially since Matthew Vaughn left the project. I thought Jeff Wadlow did a terrific job in the sequel for a director. I haven't seen a lot of his films, so with that being said, I think he did a terrific job as a director for the sequel. He definitely kept Matthew Vaughn's spirit and touch to the film. Just a lot of fun. I'm glad that Jim Carrey joined the mix, even though he unfortunately disapproved of the violence in it. Um, and then one of my more notable DVDs slash Blu-rays I got this year, I wanted this film more than anything on my list, was Star Trek Into Darkness. I know a lot of people really disapprove of it, but there's also a lot of people who really like it a lot, like me. I've never been huge on Star Trek, but I gotta say, J.J. Abrams, you have convinced me to like Star Trek through this movie. I actually wasn't a big fan of the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek film. This is the film that I really said to myself, you know what, this Star Trek thing really has something interesting going for it now. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan was great. Zoe Saldana and Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, I think his name is, and just everybody involved with this movie just really brought an interesting take to Star Trek, one that will definitely get me interested in Star Trek if they decide to make more movies for Star Trek. Um, it's easily the best Star Trek film I think ever made, and it definitely got me interested in that franchise. So that's what I got this year, you guys. I did get a few more things like an ornament and a calendar and stuff like that, but I figured this stuff was a little bit more exciting than that. So yeah, as you can see, I got a lot of stuff for Christmas. I'm not trying to show off or anything, but I just wanted to show you guys what I got. If you want to, list down below what you guys got. I know YouTube, I think, got rid of video responses, so I don't think you can do that anymore. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys got, and if you want to comment about any of these, feel free to. Hopefully, it's not too negative. Or if you want to laugh about me getting my least favorite film on DVD, that's fine too. But hope to see you guys here for the next video, and I hope you all had a great and Merry Christmas.